The Fresno State versus UCLA women's game. That was the next one I had a chance to get done. And I'll try and grind through a few more this weekend if possible. Next up game will be the Croatia versus USA men. But let's talk about the Fresno State UCLA game first. So as usual, the player minutes isn't always perfect, but it's probably fairly close for this time. Okay, so kind of how it starts here is the minutes. Then we have attempts. Pretty balanced scoring for Fresno State. Okay, Fresno State loses 10-19. Okay, down here at the bottom. Okay, and then over here we have points, which should be goals plus assist. And it looks like it's correct, right? 1 and 1, 2. Shooting percentage, defense drawn exclusions, drawn penalties, sprints won, sprints lost, 6 on 5's attempt, 6 on 5 goals, percentages of shooting on 6 on 5. Turnovers, which includes contra fouls, okay, and then just contra fouls by themselves. Steals, which includes contra fouls against. Field blocks, no field blocks, so definitely something those teams that Fresno State's going to keep working on as the season gets better. They're farther along. Exclusions here, okay, and then penalties drawn, okay, so, or penalties against, excuse me, okay, points, and then right here is the value points score. So that is basically good divided by bad. Okay, so anything over 1 is usually good, and up to 2 is great. Okay, below is not as good. Means below 0. Okay, or a negative number. Okay, if you look down here for your total scores here for goals. Okay, so Fresno State with 10 goals, 33%. UCLA is at 55%. Okay, I don't get assists for UCLA, just not how it works. Drawn exclusion is pretty even. The difference is this scoring percentage was massive. Okay, and then over here we have turnovers, 10 turnovers for Fresno State. Okay, and that's a big number. And UCLA only had 4 turnovers. Okay, and then let's look at the advanced stats. So Fresno State had 7 saves. UCLA had 9 saves. And I got to fix this save percentage because it's counting total attempts. And it really should be attempts. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, advanced stats. So not all these are working. Some are, some aren't. Okay, so possessions, total in possessions, they were in the pool. Total in possessions for both teams. Points per possession. This is true shooting percentage. So that is percentage that is shot, not with the penalties changed a little bit. So the penalties are only worth 0.44%, okay, or 44%. Okay, so just kind of an interesting way of doing it. Okay, assist percentage, that's not working. Okay, and then we have turnover percentage, turnover plus minus. Okay, points, okay, for 32 minutes. And then we have assists for 40 minutes, so it should be 32. Shot percentage, point percentage, and some of these I still got to kind of work through and make sure they're accurate. Plus minus should be accurate. Okay, so if you lose by 9, there should be a lot of negatives, but there were a few kids in the positive. Okay, and that's the same value point system we talked about earlier. Okay. So one of the kind of the interesting things, let's look at Fresno State's shooting first. Okay, so out of center, struggled out of center, struggled from the perimeter, did really well making both their penalties. But if you can see, anything under 50% is red. Okay, 6 on 5, they did get 3 goals. Okay, but they were 27% on 6 on 5. Okay, same kind of normal thing, right? When you put it on cage, you usually can score. Okay, have the one top right, maybe the UCLA goalie, that's her specialty. I'm not sure as we learn more about these data. It'll be interesting. Okay, assists, or this is now UCLA shooting. So UCLA really did well from the center position. Could also be on counterattacks here. Okay, you notice they were 2 for 3 from the counters. Perimeters, they didn't shoot great, but they still had quite a bit percentages-wise. Okay, and then shooting, right? If you shoot it on cage, you usually got a chance to score. And this is their 6 on 5 shots and where they came from. Okay, one of the new things that I created for this updated here, okay, is these tags here. So now, even goals, so these are anything that are not a counterattack, not a 6-meter direct, something of that nature. So now when I click on even goal, I see that I had 5 turnovers, 1 drawn, and I was 4 for 17 shooting. Okay, so just a little more details about each one. Okay, next up for the counterattacks, Fresno State was 1 for 3 shooting on counterattacks. They had 7 of them. 0 turnovers. They did draw 1 exclusion. Okay, 6-meter direct, none taken. 6-on-5, though, was a little more interesting. 6-on-5, they drew an exclusion on their 6-on-5. They had 1 turnover on their 6-on-5. They were 3 for 11. Okay, so a little more interesting. Okay, now these are kind of the ones that really start to kind of show some details. So if you see, after a goal, UCLA, every time Fresno State scored, they scored 50%. Okay. Also, after they missed, they scored quite a bit. Right? They had 10 goals on 16 attempts, or 16 chances after a miss. Okay, so let's look at the Fresno State kind of after goal. So Fresno State drew 1 exclusion. They had 3 turnovers, 1 drawn penalty out of 25 after goal chances. Okay. After a miss, his colors aren't really working yet. I gotta keep working on those details. Okay, after a miss, Fresno State was 1 for 6 shooting on their 10 attempts. They drew an exclusion, drew a penalty. Okay, and lastly is after a turnover. Okay, so after UCLA had a turnover, they were 2 for 3, so this was good for them, right? They counterattacked well, drew 1 exclusion, drew a penalty, and have a turnover. So those are big numbers for the Fresno State there. So as you can see, UCLA shot the ball really well from the perimeter in an even action. Their counterattack was dominant. Their 6-on-5 was dominant. And then these turnover margins, right, are after the other team's goal, after the other team's missed, after the other team's turnover. Okay, so those kind of the details. One of the interesting ones to look at this time that we've never seen before is Fresno State was 1 for 1 on their timeouts. Okay, UCLA was 2 for 2 on their timeout plays. So both teams did really well with their timeout plays, and that's where we're at. So now let me show you the video of the goals. And thanks, everybody. And next up will be the USA-Croatia game from Croatia.
State who controls the opening tip.
So the glitchiness really is from my
and now we see a quick whistle there.
Recording, not from the you can see the best quality video we've got so far.
5 spot on the near side. Now they go up top. And if you're Fresno State, you really look to try and get things going here early. And they do just that as they're able to be turned over, and it'll go back the Bulldogs' way.
So the glitchy is part of my recording system, which I got to get the settings dialed in right, especially with the higher quality video that came in.
Fresno State, it's Kate Watley. You look to attack. So the ejection here, as in the corner, it's Sydney Coachman, so a 6-on-5 for the Bruins. As Coachman will wait to get back in it, and the Bruins skip that one. Oh, nice shot there off the corner, but it doesn't go. So trying to find that window off the bar, but doesn't get it to go. Good
example of one of those after misses, right? So Fresno State misses. Here comes UCLA with the goal. So what happens after the miss of the other team?
You're early, and that's going to be another. Jamea Bent doing a nice job in goal after giving up
kudos to Fresno State. This is the best quality film we've seen so far on all the streams.
And another goal there for the Bruins. Make it 4 unanswered. This is a UCLA. It's been an Anzaldo who's got 2 of the 4 goals for the Bruins. It was April Gonzalez in traffic there. So Bruins will set back up. And they'll score. So 5 straight here for UCLA. That goal there scored by... Welcome back here to Fresno, 5-1. It's UCLA on top of Fresno State. Bulldogs with the advantage, looking for something here on the offensive end. They do get it inside, and a nice find in the goal. If you are UCLA, you got the 3-goal advantage. You can really afford to. As long as you can play good defense, you can control it in the offensive end like they're doing so here. Oh, a nice shot there. A little turnaround.
Yeah, a little back shot, a little spin.
Brooke Dilton.
Drawn last season.
Again, the glitchy is this is my
games
recording
played just for the
system,
sophomore.
not the streams quality. It was me
Now the
taking it
Bulldogs will
from the
look for the
stream.
answer on their offensive attack. Nice job there to go inside. Now they kick it out. A nice job there. Get that one go. Sydney Coachman. Sydney Coachman with her second goal on the after up in the water.
For
and you
sure.
can still put a ball with that much steam towards net. Impressive to watch. UCLA by 3 here in the second period. Good ball movement here if you're the Bruins. And they find the opening. That's going to be a goal that time. Cassidy Miller, the freshman, from 2-3. And now the Bulldogs will, with the advantage, will look to try and get a goal. They did so in the first period. They'll try and do the same here again in the middle of this second. That one over to the one. Nice job there, finding the back of the net.
Steals.
So we'll stay with the Bruins here. Bruins will look to answer. Fresno State on the season looking to stay undefeated. Bruins answer there though. And now, I believe that one is going to go against Emily Diacono. So it's a 6-on-5 for the Bruins. Bruins looking to convert here as Jillian Schultz fires it, and that one scored. Nice find up top, and that one skips just a bit wide. But again, good looking for the Bulldogs. They've taken 14 shots here this afternoon. Only been able to connect on 4. And on the other side, UCLA has connected on 10. And the Bruins won't have possession to get things started. And if you're the Bulldogs, you had stretches in that first half where you played really well defensively. Looking for a strong defensive start to this third period. And that one saved in goal. And they had a goalkeeper change there at the half. It was Jamia Bent there in the first half. In the second half now, it's Quinn Winter, the 5'10" sophomore from Laguna Beach, and she does a nice job to keep that one from finding the net. And a nice job there to lob that one in.
So nice shot by the junior today.
See if the Bulldogs can translate that into success on the defensive end. Nice shot there. The foul at this point. Tough to come from a deficit like this against a team the caliber of UCLA. But if you're the Bulldogs, it starts on the defensive end. You got to come up with stops.
Also, if you look on the offensive end, though, the Bulldogs have had 16 shots, and the Bruins 19. So the Bruins
penalty. So now it'll be, looks like for the Bulldogs, Mom with it for the penalty shot. So I believe if I heard the PA announcer correctly, you said Megan Greenwood drew the penalty, and Guermont to the net.
Ejection earned by Fresno State.
Fresno State wins the ejection.
Bulldogs have a 6-on-5 player advantage.
6-on-5 has worked well for the Bulldogs here this afternoon. They'll try and find success here as that one skipped in. Welcome back here to Fresno State. Eric Bentley, Vanessa Romo bringing you the Fresno State water polo action from the Aquatic Center. It's been all Bruins here so far in this one, 13-7. Though Fresno State starting to chip away here in this third period.
Yeah, 2 straight goals, and is that another one?
Yeah, it's the Bruin was deflected, I believe, by number 24, Lexi Leibowitz, and then right there in front of the net, so it didn't even have a chance to get to Quinn Winter in goal, but 2 strong opportunities there for the Bulldogs. Now the Bruins looking to answer quickly as they go down low to their center, and that one scored by Ava. So everything back situated. See that? I wouldn't have even been looking for that. See, that was a good find by you. I was in my own little world rocking out over here.
You really were.
So the Bulldogs with possession, 2:15 and counting to play here in the third. Nice filming. They've got their own set of filmers, just like we've got filmers right here on the Mountain West Network. Shout out to our Mountain West Network crew, bringing you the action.
And getting wet while doing it.
Exactly. We're full service here. Oh, a nice little push there. The pass on the in. A whistle, I believe. That one's going to go against the Bulldogs, the ejection. Callie Woodruff grabs the suit, so a 6-on-5 for the Bruins with under a minute to play here in the third. And that one's true. They have in front of their name.
Yeah, their entire roster quite impressive. Val Ayala, just a junior, totaled 22 goals last season, tied for 5th on the team. So just tied for 5th, 22 goals. Again, depth on that roster, 15 assists, 18 steals, and 3 exclusions drawn in 21 games played for the Bruin.
Nice job there. Nice touch. Here in Fresno, so they probably reason why they scheduled it that way. But if you're Fresno State, you're taking on 2 teams that are ranked in the top 10. Might as well give yourself that extra little advantage of having a break in between games, obviously.
Great entry by number 12, Sienna Jagelski with the
A bit of a buffer, that advantage where they get the
17 of those, but for Fresno State, 26 shots on goal, only making 10 of those. So again, like we're seeing here in the 4th period, they just really need to capitalize on these final shots in these final moments. Again, we only have 4 minutes left in this final period, and if they can't do so, I mean, they're definitely taking a lot from this game.
couple off the post, but also you got to credit the UCLA defenses. They've done a nice job to take the ball away and not allow those easy shots, as that one again ricochets away. And it'll stay with the Bruins 2 minutes exactly. And the Bruins able to put